Well, friends, we wanted to update you on a few things. First of all, as most of you are aware, both churches, Sanctuary and United, have held recent congregational meetings where both churches voted to move forward in some really concrete ways in merging, becoming one church. Relinquishing our connections to our previous denominations and moving forward, as I said, as one church. So we want to say thank you. We are eager, our councils, our elders of both churches have been working towards this end for a while and wanting to be thoughtful and mindful of the process and prayerful of the process. But we're now at a place where we actually are moving forward. And this last Tuesday had a joint elder meeting, which is going to be what all of our elder meetings are moving forward, the combined eldership of both churches. And there was a number of things we talked about, but there's a couple that we really wanted to make sure we communicated quickly and clearly to you all, because there's some decisions that we need to make that we want your input in and continued prayer and guidance for. So thank you, and I just want to say thank you to Ralph, and thank you to Amy, and to all the elders who put in a lot of time and work as we continue to follow what we believe God is calling us into, a future where we're together. So, Ralph, if you want to take it from there on what's next.
The two congregations have voted to authorize the leadership, the elders and the council, to go forward and take the steps to make one church out of what previously has been two. One of the most important steps is to establish ourselves as a single legal entity with the state. And this is accomplished by filing articles of incorporation with the state. Back in June, we distributed draft articles of incorporation and bylaws for the new church. Well, since then, we've found an attorney, Nat Taylor, who specializes in church law, and he's looked over our documents, and he's had some advice, particularly with respect to the articles of incorporation. So we now have a version that is more solid in legal terms, thanks to Nat. And frankly, about all it lacks is a name for the new church, and we'll get to that in a moment. But what we want to do is to make that our priority. Come up with a name for the new church, have Nat review a final version of these articles, and then we'll publish that to everyone and give people 2 or 3 weeks, however long is necessary for a thorough review, before we take a vote. Now, Nat also advises that the way to do this is to take the existing legal entity that is United Church and amend it to become the new church. So actually what's going to happen is we're going to file articles of amendment, as the state calls it, to change the United articles to that for the new church. So when we get the final draft, we'll have 2 votes. One vote for the United congregation to say, yes, we're okay to amend our articles to those of the new church. And then all of us will vote together to say, yes, as the new church, this is what we want our new articles to be. We hope to accomplish all of that roughly by the end of December. After that time, then we'll get into the bylaws, which deal more with the details of how we administer the church. But there's plenty of time for that. Amy.
Thank you. Well, so like Ralph and Mark said, the first thing we need in order to finalize these bylaws, the articles of incorporation, is a name. And while my prayer over the last few weeks has been that our elders came to agreement on one name, that was not the case. And instead, we came to a lot of unity around multiple names, which I've been very content in knowing that all of these names have meaning that will mean something for our congregation, but also be very inviting to those on the outside. And so moving forward, we would like your input on this name. What should our new church be named? So we'll explain more of this on Sunday, and then we will be taking a vote on Sunday the 9th during the service with a paper ballot. If you cannot come to service on the 9th, we will have an electronic form that will be sent out next week. We're going to be using ranked choice voting because we have 3 choices on names. And ranked choice voting, if you're not familiar, is a system where voters can select your most preferred choice on a ballot, first, second, or third. Or you can vote for just one if you only prefer one name. It allows for, anytime you're making a decision with more than 2 choices, ranked choice voting is a tool that uncovers the preferences with greater accuracy and fidelity than traditional voting methods. So to give you the sneak preview, the 3 names that were agreed upon by our elders, and we are excited for this to be the name, one of them to be the name of our new church, are Good Shepherd Church, Crown Hill Church, and United Sanctuary Church. So we invite you to pray with us, pray about how you will vote, and then we will require that all of the voting be done by the end of service on November 9th. I forgot what month it was. We're going to be tomorrow on November 9th, and we'll announce to you guys the new name after that.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time at our council meeting and have spent a lot of time leading up to this point talking through some of the structural, necessary and important structural elements of what it is to be a church, how we're organized. But through this all, we've really sought to remember as well that it's not simply a question of how we're structured or even a question of what are our activities, what are we doing, but that really at the heart of this is who are we? Who is God making us to be as the church? And so we spent some time reflecting and talking about these 2 verses from 1 Peter, and I'll just read them to finish up the video and encourage you to think about these, to think about what these mean for you individually, but also for us as 2 communities who are coming together to be one body, one family. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. For once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy. It's so good to be together as people who have received mercy, extending that mercy to the world around us and giving thanks to God for the mercy he's shown us. So let's keep doing that together. Thanks.